Mate, if you ain't getting this one, then this one's for you.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the EP3. Now today, as you can see by the title, more EP3 talk, and today we're going to be discussing my daily driven thoughts on the EP3 and can you really do it. Now, I had a few thoughts in previous videos about what I thought about it, and I'd driven it once in a while and this, that and the other, but without further ado, let's hop in the EP3 and tell you my thoughts after actually daily driving this for about 2 weeks. There she is in all her glory, and to be honest, I will be taking her for a clean shortly because that probably not coming across on camera too well. It's not too bad. I mean, you can still see a little reflection there, but still a bit unacceptable for what I want her to be looking like. But yeah, I'll take her out for a wash. But yeah, let's get in and talk about all things daily driving. Yes guys, so we're back in the EP3, all warmed up and all ready to go. So yes, today, as obviously you can probably see in the title of the video, I've been daily driving the EP3 for about just over 2 weeks now, and I know I've previously said in videos that it's not too dailyable, if that's a word. It's rough, it's this, that and the other, but to be fair, that was on one, when it was more or less an incomplete car, and two, when I was driving it once in a while, and kind of scared to go out in it because of the incompleteness of it, and two, just not wanting to break down too much because I have broken down in this before, but you could probably say that was maybe to do a bit with my fault, but hey ho, doing too many checks, not doing the appropriate checks and so on and so forth. But hey ho, I've got it back, I've got it to being reliable, I've got it to got it drivable, and all I can say is whatever I said previously on the EP3, scrap that, because I've got a brand new opinion, and I think that this car is very, very, very much dailyable. Now, to all those individuals that were out there when I was explaining and saying, the FN2s, this, that and the other, the FN2 is obviously a much better car to daily, this, that and the other, but only after dailying this has actually made me change my opinion on that. Now, I'm not saying that the EP3 is better than the FN2. To be fair, I don't really think there is a better car, so to speak. I think the EP3 is a more desirable car, maybe for drivers out there, and in terms of investment, because obviously the cleaner examples of the EP3s are skyrocketing in value and are actually keeping their value at the top end, appreciating, but the clean examples of FN2s aren't doing the same. However, the FN2 did come out a couple of years after, but I don't really see that. I don't really see them doing what the EP3s have done, just because of how much following and demand out there was for EP3s, but not so much FN2s. And even, I mean, nowadays the FN2s are actually dirt cheap. I think they've even decreased in value. I've always expressed that I got mine for 1900 from Copart, and obviously put a bit of money into it, and in and around the sort of 2.5 bracket for everything. But I'm seeing it, you can pick up an FN2 with a bit of a dodgy history, maybe scratched up, a couple curbs here and there, for around under that maybe. I've seen a couple go up. Bear in mind, obviously, as I just said, a couple ropey and probably worse examples of the FN2, but they're dirt cheap. I see some going for under £2,000. I'm like, what the hell? Not that I would go anywhere near it from the description, but yeah, they're just cheap, and it just tells you that the FN2 is just not that desirable as a car, even though it does tick on paper more boxes than the FN2. I mean, than the EP3, that's for sure. But hey ho, anyway, as I've said, the EP3 has been a very, very, very enjoyable car to daily over this past 2.5 weeks. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just, I've already loved this car because of the connection I have with it, picking it up from Copart, crash damage, and obviously fixing up to where we are today. But I mean, yeah, driving it is a whole new experience. Like, it feels more of an animal as well than my FN2. I think that's purely on the fact that I've put an exhaust on this, so I believe it's probably whatever the power figure was prior to me putting on this exhaust, it's probably a bit more than stock, I would say. So these are supposed to be 197 or 198 from factory. and this is probably maybe just over 200, I would say, hopefully. I don't know how many horses it's lost in the 19 years that it's been around, but to be fair, I mean, this does pull a lot quicker to 60 than my FN2. It does feel like, anyway. Now that might be subconscious because of the noise coming from that Scorpion back box, but it does feel very, very, very quick, and it does feel more enjoyable and more of a handful to drive. So when I do want to go on like a spirited drive, I'd rather take this than the FN2, even though the FN2 is a car that I obviously started, because obviously that Honda model is where I started my sort of car journey, with that being my first car at Type S. But yeah, I mean, this is just a lot more of an animal. Now there's loads of cameras out here, but if I drop down, that's third, you can hear, put my foot down. I mean, flip it up. And I'm very, very happy with that back box. The thing is that even if I do come to sell it, I will probably have to change that, because it's not for everybody, as I do understand. But, and I hope this camera isn't shaking too much, because I'm actually on tram tracks right now, so it's not the best of things to be on when you're trying to film a video. But yeah, I just love the sound that comes from that Scorpion back box. And boy, what a purchase that was. I picked that up. I picked up a sports D-Cat and a sports cat and a Scorpion straight through for 200 quid for the pair. So yeah, dirt cheap. Now, for those wondering, I did put out a video recently and a couple months ago about me saying that I was going to sell this, that and the other, and I think it's probably come to light to me that that wasn't the best decision. I think I was going through a time where I think I was overthinking stuff, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't make sense, this, that and the other. Although it's not extortionate to run both an FN2 and an EP3, some would be like, it's a bit, I mean, you'd rather have one than the other. Having both is a bit of a, oh sorry, it's gone dark as well, but having both is a bit of a, you know, a bit of a waste, because I mean, they more or less sort of do the same thing, or they're more or less the same car and this, that and the other, but trust me, they are not. Especially the way that I've made my EP3 feel. It feels a lot different to, oh, nice little Supra there, but it feels a lot different to my FN2. My FN2 is a lot more subtle, if you can say that, a lot more subtle and a lot more chilled, a lot more calm and collected, whereas this is a lot more wild and in your face. And you know, all the time, as I've said, all the time I do come out and drive, this is like flipping out. They look at me like I'm flipping boy racer, like who the hell was that just making a right racket, this, that and the other. But hey, I wouldn't change it. And it's good to have those two different options in the garage. So when I want to go out, it's like, oh, do I want to be a rowdy nuisance and just put my foot to the floor everywhere, which the EP3 sort of has that stereotype. Well, the stereotype of a typical driver of an EP3 has that. Or would I just, you know, go subtle and just go around in the FN2? Although yeah, you can still have fun in the FN2, it's nowhere near as fun as this. So I'm loving it, and to be fair, I've already explained it was up for sale and this, that and the other. It is still up for sale. People have been messaging me, but I haven't been taking any seriously, so I will take the advert down. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to sell my EP3 anymore. It's got to stay in my hands for now, but as we know, my mind chops and changes all the time. But at this moment in time, I don't feel like I want to sell this EP3. It's been too much fun, and I think this last 2 weeks has actually determined my decision on that. I mean, just look at that, just listen to that. I don't want to part with this now, man. Flip it out. I do not want to part with this now. And you get some subtle pops and bangs as well, which are ever so, they're not mad loud, but they are ever so subtle. So yeah guys, I hope that sort of brings to light my daily drivability. I think I'll make it words this video, but the daily drivability of an EP3 is very much there, contradictory to what I've said in past videos when I hadn't really daily driven it, and I was basically just chatting absolute, yeah, I was. And having now done it, I fully understand where all the EP3 owners who are mentioning me and saying, look mate, the EP3 is a lot better than the FN2, trust me, you can definitely daily drive it. I daily drive mine, and I was like, these guys, you're just probably hardcore, so you're just in a different space to me. But they're not. They were just completely right. And that's a prime example of if you haven't done it or haven't experienced it, you can't knock it. Always try new things. I tried out an EP. I thought the EP3 was too rough, too hard to daily drive it. I thought, yeah, I understood why people would prefer to take this on track than the FN2, because this is more wild, raw, more drivable. But I haven't driven it for 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Just having, just having fun with it over the last sort of couple of weeks and actually driving it and understanding it. It's been lovely. Thought the police was coming after me because of VTEC there, but no, I'm safe and sound. But yeah, guys, thought that brings to light a bit of, you know, my thoughts on the daily drivability of the EP3 and where I'm at in terms of keeping it or not. I am keeping it. And for those of you wondering, I know I've been dragged on videos about selling it and stuff, and you know, probably because I'd had nothing else to do or say, but I am keeping it. Do expect more EP3 content and more stuff hopefully to be done in the near future on this. But without further ado, guys, I'm gonna head off and go and get some shopping done. But guys, thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned for more content to come. Short and sharp video today, but please like, comment and subscribe if you are looking forward to the journeys with both the FN2 and EP3s and possibly some more cars in the future. But guys, as always, appreciate your support and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Mate, if you ain't getting this one, then this one's for you.